Hello my friends, welcome back to more Let's Play of Dark Souls Remastered. Where we left off, we had just taken out the Bell Gargoyle, and I had lost some souls trying to fight the Hollow Knights up in the Undead Church, but we went and collected our souls, and I leveled them up to review what we did. I put everything up to 16 that we're keeping an eye on. Dexterity and resistance is just behind at 15. Remember, we're not paying any attention to attunement, intelligence, or faith, because I don't have the correct character for that. I could bring them up and do spells, but I will save that for another playthrough if you guys are interested in that. We can move forward. I do want to see how shields look. It looks like this knight shield is actually better for certain stuff. Looks like the case to me. So now we are going to head down to the area that we walked by when we came to Andre first. We got this big old Titanite demon right here. These guys give us those Titanite chunk upgradable materials. But for right now, because I am not comfortable fighting him yet, we are just going to walk by him. And we'll come back to them. Those guys will not respawn once we kill them either. Here's our first Bushman. Before we officially approach the Darkroot Garden. Just realized I should have checked him. So that moss clump is important. When we get to Blighttown, I will explain how fun Blighttown is when we get there. We're going to need a couple of these clumps. This one we actually don't need as much. There's some purple ones that we're going to try to pick up from these bush people that stop poison effect when we're poisoned by somebody. They are still just dropping red ones. Now we can go that way and actually go to a basin, but we're not doing that part of the game quite yet. I noticed when I took a glimpse at the episode before this, if you guys hear a slight humming in the background, I strongly apologize. I am doing laundry currently, and it does hum a little bit in the background because I'm not super far away. But enough of my housekeeping. That's not what you guys are here for. Alright. Really could have used a clump that he was going to drop. But that's okay. Another guy right here. That's actually a grab attack. If they do that to us, they can chomp on our noggin and do some damage. Otherwise, they just kind of whip us with their hands. They are just dropping red ones for us. Usually they drop blue or purple ones. Right here we have another soul item. You see that crazy symbol up there? That's actually a door that we can't go into until we purchase something. Andre actually has the crest of a Taurus that we use to open this door, and it takes us to the next area of the garden that we'll come back towards. I'm going to go to this area first. We don't need to go through this area. I may not go through this area. It depends on how I'm feeling later on. There's actually a shortcut around behind. We kind of come in the back side of this area over here. That's what we're going to do in order to go to the boss and the area that's over there. But first, if you come over to this wall right here next to the pile of rubble, you smack it. Surprise secret bonfire right here. I still have all my Estus and all my health, so I'm not worried about resting at it right now. And over here, on the right side, before we go all the way down the hill, there's actually an item right there. I'm not going to get that quite yet because there's actually 3 bushmen in there. And if you go in there and pick it up, then they're going to hop out of the ground and come after you. And once they come out, every time you rest at the bonfire and they respawn, they don't go back in the ground. So every time you walk down here, they come out and attack you. So I might save that item for when we're on our way back out of the garden. We're first going to make a quick right to this tree. This tree does not fight back, but we have to, unfortunately, chop it down. There's an area down there that we're going to take care of first before we come up here. Just walking through it. That tree won't respawn. So we'll walk down a little bit. We got this little bug dude here. Take him out. He's got a green blossom. If I remember correctly, they provide a temporary boost in stamina, recovery speed. So my recovery speed is how fast that my green bar, my stamina, comes back. That blossom, for a short period of time, makes it so that it's quicker. Oop. Did not even touch the tree. That doesn't do much more damage than a light strike. Take out the tree. There's a purple moss clump. So those purple ones, they reduce poison buildup. So if I get poisoned, it'll actually prevent it from continuing to do effect on me. And if I take it before I go into an area that has poison, it makes it so it doesn't develop as fast as it would without it. But we don't have to worry about poison here yet. We're going to take care of this area first. That's our first garden night. If you would have gone further forward in the area we just passed, instead of coming down here first, you would have bumped into a couple other ones, but I wanted to come take on this guy first. We're going to try to keep all of the lizard dudes away from the garden knight, because I'm actually going to bait the knight over here so I can take out the bugs first. I'm calling them bugs. I guess they're more lizards than they are bugs. But what are you going to do? I think FromSoft would forgive me. Alright, I'm not doing a good job at baiting them. But maybe a lizard man will come closer to me and the knight will stay back. Whew. Alright, this buff right here. If they do that and I get hit by it, it's going to slow me down. So what you want to do is you want to keep your distance for a little bit when he does that buff. So I'm just going to pillage anything that they had. So if I try to roll when that buff's activated, I can't roll. I move super slow. And then just by walking, I also move slow too. But it looks like it's lifted. Ooh. They pack quite the punch. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to get away there. That's alright. That is okay. Alright, since I didn't rest at that garden bonfire, we do have to do all this over again. I think I'm going to rest at it this time. Because I thought maybe I would clear most of the area and then take on the boss that's down here. I didn't think I would die. I am too confident in myself. We're going to try not to use Estus yet. Where's the bush guy? There he is. So we want to try to take on these guys one at a time as well. Whenever you can take on enemies one at a time in Dark Souls, try to do it. In Dark Souls 2, when we get to that point, we won't get so lucky. Alright, we're going to rest at this bonfire instead of just moving along, just to make sure that if I die I have a closer checkpoint, and there will be 4 less enemies that I need to fight every time. Still going to pass by those guys. But this time we don't have to worry about the big old trees that were in our way. Whew. We're going to run on down, we're going to try to grab our souls. It wasn't a whole lot, but there's still some, and they're worth trying to collect. Now let's see if we can get the Garden Knight to wake up without getting the lizard dudes up here. That was a success. And there's that buff, so we're gonna just walk away. We got caught by it, but we can continue walking away. Oh, we got caught by it again. I don't know the approximate time, but based on last time, I'm assuming it's probably something like 30 seconds, and then it wears off. So I think it's gone by this point. Once again, just roll through the attacks. Or try to get behind them. Unlike that big knight in the undead church, these guys don't use their shields nearly as much as they probably should. There's our first Garden Knight. These guys, although they seem big and like they wouldn't respawn, if I die, that guy's gonna come back. So we're gonna try to knock all this out and not have to come back this way. Grab that soul item. Now make sure any of these lizard dudes didn't drop anything that's worth keeping. Because of their stingray-like aesthetic, they hide the little blue icon that pops up when there's something to pick up. And up here we have our next Garden Knight right around this corner right here. This is a little bit of a tight squeeze, so you have to be very careful when you're fighting this one. Because if you can't get behind him, you are risking being hit. When he does that buff, once again we're going to try to move away But once you get to this point, you are also out of space. So I'm going to hope that I can survive this. Ooh, I might not. There we go. It wore off. Perfect. We're going to head down a little bit, heal, and then we'll come back. That buff where they slow you down is probably the toughest thing to get around with these guys. Even though they hit like a truck, it's pretty easy to avoid their attacks. So that is it for the lower portion of the garden, of the main garden. There's the upper area of the garden. That's the one that we haven't even, that's the one behind that shiny door that we're going to avoid for right now. Then there's the normal garden, and that's where we're headed to, and then I consider this the lower portion. This one's a lot smaller than all the other areas in the garden. So we'll head back to the middle. I'm actually going to reverse my hollowing. I just remembered that there's a chance I can summon an NPC when we get to the boss over there. There's a boss at the end of this area. Oof. Stop it. Stop it. That is the guy that was over here. He just wandered over here, I think. Let's level up our dexterity. Bring it to 16. And then before we de-hollow ourselves, let's just check how we're looking on soul items. We got a few. And to make sure that we can just use them a little quicker, I'm going to put them on my little equipment tab. I'll do it this way. That way I don't need to go in and out of the inventory in order to do so. And we'll get one more out of that. Now, we will reverse our hollowing. We'll become a pretty boy again. But now we're going to stay up here, as opposed to going down that way. I want to try to make good time in this area. I want to try to clear this area before this episode's over. I don't want to force you guys to have to sit through too much time in one area. He was about to do that buff, but if you kill him before he actually does it, you don't have to worry about being slowed down. And even if he would have slowed me down at that point, I was already prepared to kill him, and I would have just stayed here. We got some bush people, some garden knights. Best thing to do in my mind is to try to bait the bush people away, so you can take care of them. There we go. Now they're coming. Oof, this might get a little risky. Alright, we need to try to go around the other way. Ooh. You know what? We're just gonna go. I'm taking a change in mind. We're gonna go see if we can take on the boss right now. We'll worry about clearing the area later. And here's a summon sign. If I can reach it. Nope. Maybe she can even help us out with all these people. I thought I clicked it. It's not looking good. I don't think I did. Let's see if the Garden Knights will go back down and I can take out the tree guys. Because once again, that summon. Oh man. He might kill me here. Not making myself look great. I think what I might do is sacrifice some damage with my weapon and actually go back to my longsword. Although, if you notice, it's gone up even more since I've ranked up my strength. Even though it's about 30 things slower, it's a faster weapon. That might be worth it in this area. Let's use one more humanity. If I die with this one, I think I'm going to have to try to take on this boss without the summon. We're just going to rush through, get the summon sign, and take on the boss before the episode wraps up. So I think if we stay to the left, we can wake up the least amount of enemies we can. Because we just woke up that night. And we'll wake up this one, but we didn't wake up any of the ones we were fighting last time. Nope. There we go. I did it right this time. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. I need some help. Oh, man. This isn't good. Oh, I got lucky. Whew. She came in just the nick of time. Alright. Let's go take care of the boss. Come on. Let's go take care of the boss. I got that crazy lady in our way. Got our souls back. Now we gotta take on the Moonlight Butterfly. And she's actually gonna... The Beatrice is actually gonna help us out a ton. Because if you're not a caster, or you don't have archery weapons, it's not easy to hit the butterfly unless it comes down. Beatrice might not take much aggro, but she is gonna damage the butterfly while it's up in the air. When it comes down, if Beatrice will get out of my way, that's when we're gonna smack it. Oh, I should have ran away. We got lucky there. That is okay. That AoE, that explosion, can mess us up. You just kind of gotta dodge the attacks. The butterfly only has 3. That one does the least amount of damage, but it's one of the harder ones to dodge. We'll actually take it out right here. Excellent. Victory achieved. Now once we run all the way up here, I am about to be welcomed by a neighbor with a leaf blower. I apologize if that is louder than it should be. Alright, I'm actually going to show you guys how that homeward bone works. And that's how we'll wrap up this episode. So, when I use it, it'll bring me back to the last bonfire I rested at. I'll keep all my souls still. And let's do our leveling up. Just level up one thing at a time. And that is where we will wrap up this episode. Thank you for joining me once again for our Dark Souls playthrough. If you like this video, give it a like, comment what you did like, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for sticking in. Be nice people. Spread positive vibes.